How old were you when you were initially at Granville?
Initially at Granville?
Yeah. What was your age at the first time you came to Granville and participated?
Well, 14.
14.
Yeah, 1950.
And did you come from Mount Pleasant Gospel Hall?
Mount Pleasant Gospel Hall.
Okay.
This is pretty well sort of as is, yes.
Yeah.
Now, we went out there and there was a little playground that we built, which is now, I see, just gravel.
Yeah, the playground existed until 1 or 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. 65 years ago, my wife and I were married here,
Fantastic.
just this past week.
Wow.
Wow.
So
Wow.
she would have come in here with her father, and down the aisle, and I built the fence.
Did you?
We built the fence around to make playground.
Wow.
And then there was just enough space to get there.
Huh.
Yeah, Doug Rich was
I didn't-
really keen.
Didn't know that.
Yeah. I can remember asking, the church used to give couples a Bible, a lovely Bible. And I asked if it could be the NIV. And there was a big to-do about that. And the word came back, no, it's
King James.
King James. And it's the only King James I have now, and I love it.
And you love it.
And of course, it was a rose-colored carpet.
Oh.
And the text on the wall there, where there is one God, one mediator between man and man, Christ Jesus, that was always there. And the skylight wasn't here. The baptistery tank is back there,
Right.
and it was a little opening with a curtain.
Yeah.
John Cochran and myself stood in the baptistery tank at the opening ceremony, peeked through the windows
Really?
as WW was blessing the building, and we young teenage boys were in the baptistery tank looking through the windows.
Did
curtain.
WW actually raise his hands?
WW raised his hands.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
we had a proper blessing.
All right.
Yeah, this is where we had, informal midweek meetings. Friday evening teams, we met here.
So when this opened, was there?
Granville Street was 2 lanes. There was no sidewalk or curb.
Wow.
Yeah, we just sort of pulled up into the gravel.
Wow. Was there controversy around the building that you were aware of at age 14, or just like, wow, we're here?
Oh,
or
we thought this was just
wonderful?
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it would appeal to a teenager.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was there a sense of ever adding bells to that tower?
Oh, it could have been, but that would have been a little too churchy.
Yeah, there was a flag shown in the drawings. A
Flagpole.
flagpole integrated into the top
Could
of the
well
tower.
be. Yeah. Now, the organ was here, and then was an electric organ.
What can you tell us about the acoustics in the building? Sheila Shannon told me, she was 15 or 16 on the first Sunday,
Yes.
that coming from Mount Pleasant Gospel Hall, there was some shock because the sound of the congregation singing here was so different than in Mount Pleasant. She said that it was kind of like, there's no warm,
there's no reverberation.
cohesive sound or blending
Yes,
of the
yeah.
voices because of the space.
Well, that could well be. I mean, probably Mount Pleasant Hall
Would-
had all kinds of echo and reverberation,
Yeah.
which we
and,
don't have.
and a smaller space.
Yeah.
So
Actually, on opening day, the leadership of the church had no idea how many were going to come.
come over from Mount Pleasant.
Come over from
Yeah,
Mount Pleasant.
yeah.
Yeah.
My mother used the same word as you. There was some feeling. That was her
There
word.
was some feeling.
Do you have a sense of how much of the church came over, the membership?
Well,
Most of
those
it.
who stayed eventually formed another Heather Chapel, which is sort of down in Marbleton. And I don't know whether, does Heather Chapel still exist?
Yes, it does. It still exists, but that was like about 1963 or
Yes,
six-
yeah,
that-
like that.
yeah.
Yeah. And then Sunday school was at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So we came home from the breaking of bread service.
Yeah.
We always had a sit-down roast beef lunch, Sunday lunch. And you'd be busy memorizing your verse on the way down.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
What,
when you got there, you remembered your verse.
for breaking of bread at Mount Pleasant, was it 4 square with the table
Yes,
with the bread and wine in
the
the
table was
middle?
in the middle.
Yeah.
And people
Four
sat
square,
there.
yeah.
That's right. They were innovations for the time.
Mm.
But you would think that they were quite natural and quite normal and quite sensible. I got a kick out of your comment that the building was an early example of wheelchair accessibility. I don't think anybody thought of anybody coming in a wheelchair.
So where that came,
There were seats taken out here so that there'd be a couple of wheelchairs here
right.
so that they could come in through the back. Now the balcony was up there. That little glass extra railing wasn't there. And right dead center, there was a little, I would call it a projection booth. So there was a little room up there with its own door, and you could have a 16 millimeter movie projector or stills. Sunday school met here, and we had wooden chairs, and they were, bolted well with a runner. So they were sort of in sections of 5 or 6 seats.
So would you have had 3 separate groups in this space?
Oh, we would have grade 1 and 2, probably 3 and 4, 5 and 6. And then girls on one side, boys on the other side. Yes. And then whoever was leading the singing would stand up. There was
So what we did in 2011 was we converted the old fireplace to
a
a
gas one.
fireplace,
Yes.
which allowed us to vent out the wall directly
Yes.
and allowed us to eliminate the chimney. The brick chimney used to go right through
Okay.
all the way upstairs, and that used to mess up the layout options for the rooms
Yeah.
upstairs. So we got rid of that and it created some
It's just as
more
well.
flexibility.
The fireplace never functioned. I mean, it was never maintained or cleaned out. And the young men, the young boy, teenage boys bed in here for our Sunday school class.
And what is
So
it now,
it's
storage?
it's part of the prayer room now.
Oh.
So it was a library for many years, but it was converted to prayer room, and that's the extension.
Go ahead.
Okay, well, this would have been all part of the ladies' room.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Kind of like a mid-century hotel ladies' room, right?
Yes,
With like
yes.
sort of, there were seats,
Yeah.
there was a sofa to lie down on if somebody felt sick.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And there was a little telephone
Yeah.
Yep,
booth. Is it still here?
it's
No.
still there. There's no phone in there, but
No, it was a payphone.
Yeah,
we still have that phone.
really?
Yeah, it was a payphone.
Yeah, when we did the renovations, I saw it.